Hello everybody, welcome to another Saturday video, and in this video I am actually decorating an Easter tree, which is something I've never actually seen before. It's the first year that I've seen these, so I'm pretty sure we're just going on another commercial trend, I suppose. Every holiday has to have stuff that you can buy. It used to just be around here in any case that you would get one of those really curly branches. I'm not really sure what type of tree that they come from or what type of bush. And they would put all the little Easter baubles on there, but a fairly large brand in the Netherlands called the HEMA is now selling these wooden trees, and you can see that they are sold with a darkened edge, which is burnt on. I saw that because there's like a little area somewhere on the main tree that looks a little bit singed on the side, and the rest is just blank wood. And I thought, the idea is kind of fun. I bought it because I never actually had one of those branches anyway, those curly branches, and I also didn't really feel like cutting a branch off of some tree just so I can put some stuff on it and then throw it out, because I don't do that with Christmas trees either. I don't like to have an actual tree in the house just so I can put stuff on it. It kind of seems a little cruel to me to have that. Some people just like a natural tree and all that's fine and everything, but personally I just don't like the idea of cutting something down that's perfectly alive and doing well just so you can hang some stuff off of the branches and then toss it out when it's a couple of weeks later or something, maybe even a couple of days. Some people just put a tree up for Christmas and then they take it immediately down afterwards. Not me. I tend to have my Christmas tree around for a long time. Usually I have the Christmas tree up a couple of weeks before Christmas, and then because the first weeks of the year are always so boring, I tend to have the tree up a couple of years into the new year as well. So all in all, I think I have it up for more than a month, and that's probably not the longest that people have had their Christmas tree up, but I like to have a little bit of atmosphere in the house. I have plenty of stuff here and there anyway, but still I like to have the Christmas tree up because it's full of fun things that I picked myself, and they're all a little bit strange because I'm pretty sure I've showed you, I'm pretty sure I've made at least one video, probably two, on the type of stuff that goes into my Christmas tree. So I guess we're now starting that tradition with Easter, because now I have an Easter tree, which is kind of small. But then again, the baubles that you can get for Easter are also kind of small. They're usually only like an inch tall, and they're made out of wood normally. I don't know if they have those in other countries as well. Normally they're just like egg shaped. You put eggs in the branch or in the tree in this case, but this year there's also little egg shaped like bunnies, and there's one that's like a potted plant for some reason. There's bunnies inside of a basket, there's sheep eggs, and there's even a bunny in a carrot car, as well as an egg sitting on top of some type of car thing itself as well. So I'm not really sure who came up with these. I do like them, that's why I got them. They're really cute and funny, and as I said, I like to have an atmosphere. But I just thought that the tree itself looked a little cheap and boring, so I thought I would decorate it. Now, I didn't really have a particular plan, and as I'm drawing on this thing, by the way, I'm recording this audio after the fact, so if it doesn't match what's happening on screen, then that's why. But anyway, so I just kind of started with a bunch of permanent markers. I thought initially I was going to make it all like smaller colored lines, just kind of like have almost a confetti pattern of small colored lines all the way across the tree. But then as I looked at the size of the thing, I was like, okay, that's going to take way too much time, and I wanted to record at least one part being finished for the video, so I decided to do more of a stylistic I guess shape of the tree and branches, like how they branch off and stuff like that. And then as I went along, I went and colored the different sections in different colors. I was hoping that I would have more color variations in my permanent marker collection, but all I really had that was outside of the standard red, green, black, and blue was orange and something that was supposed to be purple, and green and brown. Of course, green is one of the four colors actually. So brown, orange, and what was supposed to be purple but was actually kind of pink. So I decided to start with orange because that's the closest one that we had to brown, which I was going to use in the center. And then after that, I was thinking I would do red and then do the purple, thinking that I was going to get an actual purple. But when I actually used the purple, it turned out to be pink, as I said earlier. So then I thought, well, I can't really put the red next to that because that looks kind of ugly and weird. So, and also they're kind of very close, the orange, red, and the pink. So I didn't want to use too much colors that were too close and looked a little bit too much like Christmas, maybe because red and green is like a Christmas thing. And I made the branches parts, the exterior parts, green as well. So then it would have looked a little bit like halfway from Christmas tree. I don't know how to describe it, but I didn't really want to go for that look. So instead I ended up picking blue, which is an interesting choice. And the result, which I'll show on the end, looks a little bit kind of like 70s style, 70s, 80s, that weird combination of colors that somehow worked. And it is a very vibrant looking tree. Now it's probably not going to be everybody's liking. Probably a lot of people won't like it, but it's mine and I like it, so that's all that really matters. Anyway, but once it's all put together, it's one big colorful mess, and I kind of like that. So that is now currently on my coffee table, waiting for Easter. Speaking of Easter, my mom was like, hey, let's go to the Keukenhof on Easter. I think that her partner suggested that because, I don't know, he has this thing like he has to send everybody over to all these different touristy things because he feels like everybody needs to have been there. Now, I wouldn't mind going to the Keukenhof because, of course, it's a really big garden with lots of plants, very well known internationally. If you've ever seen a picture of the Netherlands with fields full of tulips, probably taken there. So we wanted to go there. We were trying to plan a way to go there. The thing with my mother is that she's not very punctual, and she also is starting to lose the plot a little bit. She tends to get lost a lot. And so we were like, oh, are you sure you want to go there? As in, you have to be there at a certain time. And do you really want to come driving over to us first for an hour and a half and then go another hour and a half from us to the Keukenhof? So it's like 3 hours in a car for her. And she initially said, yeah, that's fine. And then I was like, okay, well, then you're going to have to pick a time slot, because I had already gone to look at the website to see how we could buy tickets. And you have to pick a arrival time for buying tickets. So I said, okay, so you need to be there at a certain time because there's like time slots and stuff like that. And so when do you expect to want to be there? And then when are you going to leave from your place? Because you have to leave 3 hours before then. So after a while of convincing her that she definitely needed to make some type of plan, she started to backtrack a little. Because initially she was just like gung-ho, like, oh, let's just go there, it's going to be fine. But I'm like the type of person that looks ahead and goes, no, you need to have a ticket. We can definitely not just show up and expect to just be able to buy a ticket there. Although that might be the case. If I look at the website, it's certainly not the case. And I don't want to be there and then find out that we went there for no reason. And then we have to go back without actually having seen what we meant to go out and see. So we were still trying to go and figure out a time. And then after she figured out a time, she started talking about how the weather was bad today and yesterday. And if the weather was bad on Easter, would we still want to go? So this is her basically backpedaling. And then I start giving her all the reasons why we could go anyway. And she basically, after I've dismissed all of her reasons, says, okay, we'll see. But she's also talking to my brother in the background and asking him the same questions, like, oh, do you really want to go there when it's raining? I mean, it's raining right now. What if it's raining then? And we should probably go a different date. So she keeps like backpedaling on her previous idea and decision. And that annoys my brother again because he finds her to be very inconsistent, which is correct. And this is just the way she is. She's never going to change. So he gets annoyed and then starts like talking to me about, oh, look what she's doing now. And I'm like, okay, well, this is what she's saying to me. And we kind of like figure things out in the background of what's going on, really. So I think we're not going to go. We have to go some other time, perhaps. I think the next date that she suggested would be her birthday, which is in July, which is a lot better, obviously. Timing-wise, weather-wise, probably. But then we're still stuck with the timing during the day. And if she really wants to drive for 3 hours, because that is a long trip. Actually, that would be 6 hours in total, because she would have to drive an hour and a half over to us. And then we drive an hour and a half from us over to the Keukenhof. And then she has to go back an hour and a half to us to drop us off. And then another hour and a half back to her house. So that would be 6 hours in one day. For maybe 2 hours of walking around looking at flowers. I don't know if she really thought that through. I suggested as one of the first things that she should just go there directly so that she would save herself all that time, but she didn't want to do that. She had to go and pick us up, so she's stubborn and not great with timing. So we'll see what happens on Easter. Probably they're just going to come over to my place again and then see my amazing Easter tree and probably laugh at it, which is fine because they don't have one and this is mine. It's unique and all that. And I'm one of the few people in the family I noticed that actually does decorations. I think I'm the only one actually, and also does presents for Christmas and stuff like that. I was thinking about that earlier today. Like, I like to give presents, but if they don't give me anything back, it's like, okay, I'm a little disappointed, but then I'm like, maybe next year they'll do something, and they just keep not doing anything. But I guess I'm very persistent as well in my own way, very stubborn. Stubbornness runs in the family. But I think this year I'm going to try not doing that, and then we'll see what happens. Anyway, so that is the tree colored and also a picture of the end result right about now, Functional Butter. And if you put that next to the before, you can see that it's quite a big difference. Even though it's the same baubles and everything, it looks a lot more three-dimensional, I have to say, a lot more colorful. And hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.